Okay, so honestly, most of the work in QA hasn't changed that much in the last 10 years. You still write tests, you still review code, you still dig through bugs trying to find out what broke and why, but it's also a lot of repetitive work. And here's the thing, that's exactly the kind of work AI is really good at, not replacing you, just doing the boring parts faster so you can focus on the stuff that actually requires your brain. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 Claude skill files built specifically for QA. And what I mean by that is, these are custom AI commands that live right inside your project. You type a slash command, you get a result, that's it. We're covering these 5 skills today. 1, an API test generator. 2, a Playwright UI test generator. 3, an API test code reviewer. 4, a UI test code reviewer. And 5, a bug explorer that actually digs through the source code to find the cause of a bug you're dealing with. I'll show you where the files go, how to run them, and how to make them yours. All right, let's go. Okay, so first things first, if you've never used Claude Code, here's the quick version. It's an AI assistant that runs inside your terminal or inside VS Code. And what that means is it can actually read your code. It understands what's in your project. It can help you write tests, find bugs, review code, all without you leaving your editor. Now, the specific feature I want to talk about is called skills files, sometimes called slash commands. And here's the thing, Claude Code lets you create custom commands for your project. You write a markdown file with some instructions. You drop it in a specific folder, and then you can run it at any time just by typing a slash command. So instead of typing a big long prompt every time you want to generate API test, you just type API test generator and give it a few details. Claude already knows what you want, how you want it formatted, and what framework you're using. Pretty straightforward, right? Now you might be thinking, okay, why not just use a saved prompt? And that's a fair question. The difference is context. Skill files run inside of Claude Code, which means Claude already has your entire project loaded. It can read your existing test files, follow your naming conventions, and look at your folder structure. A save prompt cannot do any of that. Are you following me? So these skills produce output that actually fits into your project, not generic test code you have to rewrite. The skill files live in a folder called commands inside of your .claude folder, and these live inside of each project. Each one is just a markdown file with instructions from Claude. Okay, so setting this up is actually pretty quick. You need 3 things: Claude Code installed, a project to work in, and the skill files themselves. If you don't have Claude Code yet, go to claude.ai/code and grab it. And I've already got it running in my project. Inside of your project, you need to create this folder, .claude, and another folder inside of it called commands. It's very important that this is a .claude folder at the root of your project, and then a command folders inside of it. And then all 5 skill files are going to live in here. Now, the other thing worth knowing is that Claude reads a file called claude.md in your project root. This is basically where you tell Claude about your project, your tech stack, your test framework, and how your tests are organized. The cool thing is, skill files pick up this automatically. So if you haven't set that up yet, you want to do that too. This is what my Claude MD file looks like for my project. And you know what? The more detail you put in here, the better the skills perform. Things like how you name test files, what fixtures you use, and whether you use page object setup. All of that helps Claude produce outputs that actually fit your code base. Setup is done, so let me show you the skills. All right, skill number 1 is the API test generator. Here's the thing, writing API test is really repetitive. You got an endpoint, you got some inputs, you know what it should return, and every time you're writing the same structure: happy path, validation errors, auth errors, edge cases. The skill takes an endpoint description and writes the whole test file for you. Okay, so I have my Plant Store app running. The Plant Store app also has a Swagger definition here. The endpoint that we're going to try to write automated tests for is this /API/orders endpoint. But before we execute the skill, let's take a quick peek at what this file looks like. So here's the API test generator markdown file. You can see that it gives you context. You are an expert API test automation engineer working on the Plant Store project. Your job is to generate a complete production-ready TypeScript API test file for the endpoint described in. And we have this argument here, which is going to be whatever we type into Claude prompt. And within here, it says step 1, read project context before writing a single line of test code. Here are the files that it tells you to read specific to our application. Step 2, identify the target endpoint. Based on whatever we type in here, it's going to figure out what the target endpoint is and figure out everything that it needs to know: request body schema, response body schema, auth requirements, status code, business logic, etc. Step 3, it's going to design the test data factory. So here's all the information for that. Step 4, we'll write the test file. Here's the layout of what that would look like. Step 5, it's going to do quality checks before outputting. So this is going to help make sure that every time Claude outputs an answer, it's going to generate the files in a similar way using consistent patterns. And step 6 is to actually output the files. So inside of a new prompt in Claude, you're going to do / and then just give the name of the markdown file. So API-test generator here. I'll hit the tab key because I want to add additional information. That endpoint was /orders. So I'll add in test for orders endpoint. And one other thing I'll do, because I don't see it in the list of files here that it's supposed to check, we also have a Swagger definition file here, which is what's generating the Swagger file that we just looked at. So I'll also tag that file. So I'll say at Swagger, and you should see Swagger.js there. And that's all you have to write. So your slash command or skill is here. This is the API test generator, what you actually wanted to write test for. So I said test for orders endpoint, and then any additional context that it might need at server/swagger.js. And this file reference here should actually be added to the markdown file so that I don't have to do at server/swagger.js every single time I ask it to write an API test. So it just speeds it up even more. Let's go ahead and send this. All right, after about a minute or so, it's created our API test. You can see it created a test/API orders.spec.ts. Let's take a look at the file. You can see that it's created a TypeScript file, which is what we asked for. Here are the TypeScript interfaces at the top. Here's some functions for the factory builders. There's some helpers here, and then we have our test. So you can see there's a describe for API orders. There's a before all that does some setup here. We have our happy path describe within there. So it places an order and returns ID, order ID, and success message. Next one places a multi-item order and returns a valid order ID. Keep on scrolling. There's a bunch more tests. There's a section for validation errors here and a section for edge cases. So in my prompt, I didn't specifically ask for any specific types of test cases or any specific scenarios. So Claude just went ahead and generated a variety of different tests for each type of scenario. If you wanted anything specific to come out of here, you would just type in your scenario, or you can copy paste in your acceptance criteria for that specific endpoint, and then it will generate based on whatever you type in there. If you want all of these skill files for yourself, I've generated generic versions of these skill files for you to download for free. You'll find the link in the description. I've also included prompts for you to use so you can tailor the skills to your specific project. These files are all free for you to use. I would just appreciate that you do a like and subscribe to show your thanks. All right, let's look at the next one, which is the Playwright UI test generator. It's going to be a very similar process. You can see the MD file has references and information for what it wants to generate inside of the Playwright test. So let's look at our Plant Store app and click on products, and we can just ask it to do some scenarios for adding products to the cart. Inside of a new prompt in Claude, let's do / and then start typing out Playwright. Hit the tab key, and then we'll say write scenarios for adding to cart. I don't think I need to give it any additional references because I'm just looking for some basic scenarios for adding to cart. We can go ahead and send this. All right, after a minute or so here, it's gone ahead and created some files here. So it's created two files. It's created products page.ts, which is our page object file with our locators. And it's also created add to cart spec. Let's go look at the page object file first. You can see here are all of our page object elements here, product cards, add to cart buttons, so forth and so on. And then inside of our spec file, you can see it's created our specs. Here's our describe for add to cart, shows different scenarios here. So similar to the API test, but instead of being API tests, these are the front-end tests. And once again, I didn't ask for anything specific, so it just created a variety of different tests around that area. But if you wanted something specific, you could just type it in. And the next skill I want to look at is the API test code review. So this is really good for when you're doing code review for other people, but also you can just use it against the code that you generated for yourself. This one is super simple. Just do / API and choose test code review, hit the tab key. And I'm actually just going to tag the file. So at orders.spec file, and that's it. So it'll go through the markdown file to figure out what the skill is looking for. It will review the API test file, and it'll output what it finds in the review. Another thing you can also do, instead of just tagging the specific test file, you can ask Claude to compare the current branch that you're in and look for any changes and then do the review. So basically what you're going to be doing when you're writing any new code is that you'll be doing that inside of a new branch. You won't be doing that on main. So the person doing the code review is going to be looking at your specific branch. So that's exactly what Claude can do. It can compare what you created versus what was already there in the main branch and do its evaluation that way. So you don't have to point out specific files to look at. You can just say, look at all of the changes inside of this current branch. I only have one file to review, so I'll go ahead and just send this as is. All right, and after a minute or so, it's going to go ahead and spit out the results inside of the chat panel itself. And you can see that it orders it based on severity. So it says it found 8 issues across 5 categories. There are critical issues here. There are high issues here, medium and low issues. So it gives you an overview of everything at the bottom also, but it gives you specific context of what exactly is wrong with each test and what needs to be improved. So the best course of action is to run this before you actually push up your code and loop through this with Claude. You'll update the test based on the suggestions or not, and then you'll have it run the review again. And by the time you actually submit this for code review, your code should be in a pretty good state. All right, and let's do the UI version of this. So this one is going to be /UI and UI test code review. And remember we had two files. So we had the products page, so I'll tag that, add products page here, and then one other file, which was the add to cart spec. So add to cart spec. So UI test code review, products page, and add to cart spec. Go ahead and send this. And just like the API test review, the UI test review finishes after a minute or two. It gives you all of the categories of issues with specific details on which line of code is actually having the issue and how to fix it. You should iterate with Claude, fix the issues or not, until you have your code in a state where it's ready to actually be reviewed. Okay, we have one more here. So this one is the Bug Explorer. And honestly, this is my favorite. So with the Bug Explorer, here's how it works. You describe the bug, what the user was doing, what error came up, and what you expected. And the skill goes to the source code and tries to find where it's coming from. And what that means is instead of spending an hour reading through files, you describe the bug and Claude does the searching, and it only reports what it can actually trace in the code. It's not guessing. So if you look inside of our Plan Shop app, you can see that I can add additional items while inside of the shopping cart, and I can remove them. But once I get to 1, I can't actually remove it to 0. And this remove button here doesn't actually remove the last item. So I'm stuck on 1. So I'm going to describe this scenario to Claude and have it figure out where the bug is coming from. So first thing I'll do is I'll add my / command. So /bug explorer. So what I wrote in here is bug on the shopping cart page, remove button doesn't remove item. If item is a 1 quantity, clicking the minus button does not remove the last one. I'll go ahead and send this. And let's take a look at the output here. So it says symptom, clicking the remove button or decrementing quantity to 0 on the cart does not remove the item. The cart appears unchanged. The root cause is in this file, cartcontext.js. Here's the specific line of code, and it gives you an explanation of what is happening in the code. It tells you how to reproduce it, and it actually gives you the suggested fix. So here's the thing that's new with AI and QA, is that at this point, you can take this information and file it as a bug report, or you can just create an MR with the fix applied and send that over for the devs to review, and they can just fix it that way. So we might be at a stage where we don't actually need to submit bug reports anymore. We're just going to be submitting MRs. But I'll leave that up to you if you're ready for that sort of commitment. But as you can see, it's evaluated the code based on the description you gave it, which is the same thing that the developer would do. But now you're able to give more descriptive context to the developers, so that way bugs can be fixed faster because root cause is potentially already identified. Okay, so you've got the 5 skills, but here's the thing. These are starting points, not finished products. You want to make them fit your project. Here are 3 things worth doing. First, you should update the tech stack in the instructions. If you're using PyTest instead of Jest, Cypress instead of Playwright, just change it. The skill file is literally just a text file. Open in VS Code and swap it out. Second, you want to put more context in your Claude.md file. Seriously, the more detail you give Claude about how your project works, the better every skill performs. Things like how you name your test files, what fixtures you use, whether there's a shared test client setup, put it all in the Claude.md file, and every skill picks it up automatically. And third, you can go global if you want. Instead of putting the skill files in Claude commands inside of one project, you can actually put them in the root of your machine, and then they'll be available in every project you work on. And honestly, the more that you use these files, the more gaps you'll spot. Things you keep asking Claude to do manually, turn that into a skill. That's all it is. So here's what you want to do right now. Step 1, install Claude Code if you haven't. It only takes a few minutes. Step 2, pick one skill, set it up in your current project this week, and actually use it on a real task. And step 3 is to customize it. Update the instructions to match your stack, your conventions, and how your team actually works. That's where it gets really useful. And if you want more of this, I've got more Claude Code videos coming for QA. Subscribe so you don't miss them. And drop a comment, which of these 5 skills are you setting up first? All right, that's it. See you in the next one.